Hello and welcome to another comment video. So in today's video, we're going to be understanding what it means for the Common Cold Authority. For those of you who don't know, back in the early 50s, this stamp was created to stop commons from doing whatever they want. They're basically the police commons. So because certain characters, certain subjects were not favored back then like they are kind of today, so they had to do something to regulate commons to make sure they're doing a guide and standards to develop for like people's characters. You can't like to make sure there wasn't like I guess full nudity, stuff like that. So they had to do something to make sure guidelines were kept and comics weren't going too far. So I'm just using this one as an example of Comic Code Authority because just about every comic from the 70s, 80s, even up to this early 2000s, they had their Comic Code Authority on there because there are certain guidelines each publisher had to meet. But certain publishers like Gold Key here did not follow the Comic Code Authority. As you can see, on most Gold Keys did not have that stamp, but Marvel did abide by it. So did DC, but certain Marvel comics did not have the code. And like this New Mutants here, I'm using this as an example. As you can see on the front cover, there is no Comics Code Authority because of the subject matter. There is the subject matter for this issue did not abide by the authority, so they did not like it. So like I said, up to the early 2000s, there was no Comic Code Authority, and even on newer DC comics like this Action one, you see there's no stamp on it because in the 90s, they even started doing their own rating system like mature, teen, that sort of thing. So eventually, the Comic Code Authority did go away by the wayside by I think 2010, 2011. Somewhere in there, because each publisher was doing their own rating system, and things greatly improved because you can tell why with modern comics what's appropriate, what's not. But in 2001, Marvel did stop using their own. Started using their own rating code, like I say, M for mature, T for teen, that sort of thing. So. But the Comic Code Authority was very important back then because it definitely put a hold on certain subject matters. Like the Punisher is a good example of the Comic Code Authority not using on the second series, because the Punisher is a gritty, violent character, and they did not really approve of the Punisher back then because he was going off guns a-blazing. Wasn't until the third series of the Punisher that they started putting the Comic Code Authority stamp on there, which I do have a few Punisher ones, but I don't have many examples to show you because I don't really have the second series, because I'm not a huge Punisher fan myself. I am more of a Spider-Man fan, as you guys see, but for Amazing Spider-Man, there was a storyline that the Comics Code Authority did not approve of, which was Amazing Spider-Man number 96 to 98 with the Green Goblin story, because it dealt with drugs. Drugs was a really big hot topic way back in the 80s. So that storyline with Spider-Man, the Green Goblin, and all of that, Harry Osborn, they did not like the subject matter, so they did not put their stamp on those three issues. I do have Amazing Spider-Man number 98. I don't have it with me. It is in one of my boxes, and I couldn't find it in time to make this video. But it is three issues of a good example of Amazing Spider-Man that wasn't approved back then because of subject matter, drugs, violence, different sexuality subjects, which I believe happened in this issue, why there's no common cold authority. So I mean, I didn't know that at the time when I was growing up. I understood why they had that stamp on, but now that I've been doing my research and understanding the reasons, it does make sense that everything needs to be policed, everything needs to be watched. You can't just publicly put out something without people getting offended by the subject matter or anything like that. So they need to have some sort of system in place. So, but the Commons Code Authority did approve this service purpose. It definitely probably halted different storylines from being put out there, and it just was one of those things that stopped storyline, stopped character development. And as you can see in Action Comics, as time goes on, right about from issue 869 forward, they did not have the Comic Code Authority, as you can see on most modern comics. Now they do not. Even DC went on the wayside with that. They did the same thing like Marvel. They did their own specific rating, like T for teen, M for mature. Superman's usually more of a PG type comic, but lately the storylines are going a little more darker. So I think that it should be more mature ratings. Like a lot of indies comics, like this one here, the Savage Dragon, did not really abide by the Comic Code Authority. As you can see, there's no one on here because I think the Savage Dragon is a really dark and gritty story as well. It doesn't make not the best story out there, but it is what it is. I'll give you another example. One that the Comic Code Authority did not have their stamp on was Bloodshot. Even though I really like the cover, to me he's another Punisher type character, just by the indie character. I guess they couldn't really copy Marvel, so they had to remake it in their own image. A different Punisher guy, and he's really violent, really not that nice. So a really bloody issue. So it is what it is. But here's another good example for Marvel not having, far as I can tell, the Squadron Supreme. There's no Comic Code Authority, even though this is from cover date 1980. They did put their stamp of approval. I guess they didn't like the subject matter or whatever was going on in the issue. So there's some examples of why certain issues need to be monetized, more things need to be policed in my terms, because it's always subject matter drawing. You can't, people try and get away with things, but they can't. They need to have some sort of grounding in them. So that's the reason for the Comic Code Authority way back then. But anyways, now there's these old new rating systems for newer comics, so which is good. So it tells people, hey, you should buy this, hey, you don't. But anyways, you guys should. I mean, it's up to us what's appropriate, read what's not, what comics you should for the younger ones. But anyways, so those are some examples of the Comic Code Authority. So eventually, as comics and stories evolve, the publishers did shift away from the CCA, and like I said, did their own things. So it's all up to us what's appropriate, what's not. And my 2 cents is we should be mindful of what you want to read, what you can accept, and what you don't. So that's a little bit about the Comic Code Authority, why comics need to be policed even in this day and age. So what do you guys think? Do you guys think that was a good idea back then? Do you not? So find the ones without the Comic Code Authority. You never know, they might be more valuable in the future. So that's my 2 cents on the Comic Code, and try to understand why they had it. So I hope this video helps for new and older collectors. Thanks, everybody.